Hi, so what is a conspiracy theorist? You've heard this expression before, and well, I'll tell you what it is. First of all, let's look at what those words mean. Okay. A conspiracy means that two or more people can agree to do something together. That's what a conspiracy is. It's two or more people agreeing to do something together. A theory is the idea that something might be true. So when you're saying that's a conspiracy theory, what you're saying is that the other person has just said that they think that maybe two or more people agreed to do something together. Now, of course, when people use that, that's not what they mean. But why is that? Why is it that we use words to say something that they don't really mean? How can that be possible? Because it doesn't take a genius to know or look in the dictionary and see what conspiracy means and what theory means, right? So why is it that we have, all of us, without thinking, without researching, without any form of argumentation or demonstration, all reached the same conclusion that those words mean something else? And what do they mean? Well, for most people, they mean crazy, paranoid, extremist. And why is that? Well, because when you watch a Hollywood movie or a documentary made by mainstream media, the opening lines of those things, or at some point in there are certain words that are going to be thrown in, and they are going to be associated with the words conspiracy theorist. And those words are, yep, you guessed it, extremist, crazy, paranoid. They don't provide any argumentation for that. They don't show you a whole lot of evidence, argumentate, research, demonstrate, and then say, you see. No, they start with that and they just throw the words in. And because that's been done over and over again, and because the people around you are in exactly the same case as you, they've been subject to that as well. We all do it. And in every single Hollywood movie where there is a conspiracy theorist, which is somebody who realizes that sometimes two or more people get together to do things, all right? That's what it really means. So every time there's a guy that's called a conspiracy theorist in a Hollywood movie, what happens? Two things. First, he's always fucking right. He's the only one seeing the truth. He's the only one seeing through all the bullshit. But he's always depicted as a crazy man, and he always dies. The Pelican thing with Julia Roberts, 2012, and any Die Hard 5. Any movie you want where there's a conspiracy theorist, he's always right. He's always the only one who hasn't got his head up his ass, but he's always depicted as a madman, and he always dies. Who wants to be depicted as a madman? Who wants to be laughed at? And who wants to die? No one. So you do not want to associate yourself with the conspiracy theorist because you're afraid of ridicule and you don't want to die. So what really is conspiracy theorist? What is that label? Well, it's what I call a red-nosed expression. Take a news reporter, take a scientist, take anybody, take a fucking genius that's talking something that makes complete sense, and put a red nose on his fucking face. Is anybody going to take him seriously? No. Did anybody make any kind of demonstration against what he was saying? No. Did anybody use any reason to prove he was wrong? No. All they did was put a red nose on his fucking face, point at him, and laugh at him. And now nobody wants to agree with him because they are afraid of being ridiculed as well and having the finger pointed at them as well. So, since we all think of the same words and all have the same reaction when we hear those two words put together, we are all afraid of being associated with them. And so all you need to do now, in exactly the same way that political correctness works, by forbidding questions and making it unacceptable to think in any other way, which is really to not think at all. That's what they want. All you need to do to discredit somebody in the eyes of the plebe, the masses of unthinking sheep that we are, because we're all fucking conditioned by the media and by all of these things that just get repeated and repeated and repeated. All you need to do is put that red nose on somebody. All you need to do is point the finger and say, conspiracy theorist. And suddenly everybody else is going to distance themselves from that person or from their position or from whatever they're saying, and they won't want to have anything to do with them. You don't need demonstration. You don't need to use argumentation. You don't need logic. You don't need reason. You don't need anything of that. By pointing the finger and saying conspiracy theorist, everybody else immediately stops thinking, doesn't examine the question, doesn't debate, and steps back, and the guy's on his own, and next time he's proved as an example of what happens to people who dare ask questions. Because that's really what we're trying to avoid here, is people asking questions that you don't want people to ask.